What's happening? Of course, you know it's your boy B-Hop Radio. Shout in as always. I got my podcast partner off in this thing, OG Gangsta Wicked, a.k.a. Big Galaxy of Ghetto Mafia.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm in the building today, man. Lord have mercy. A lot of stuff went down last night, man. I was trying to get you on the phone. I couldn't get you on the phone, B-Hop.
Yeah.
I came and camped out, man, early this morning, man, to wait for you to get here. You know, so a lot of stuff I said we need to talk about. I got to get in here and get it off my chest.
I mean, for those who don't know, Diddy, Sean Combs has been recently, his homes have been, raided. And this is what's going on according to ABC News. I got this from the horse's mouth as far as they're concerned. They said, law enforcement sources familiar with the matter said that the searches are being carried out at Diddy's properties as part of a federal investigation led by the Southern District of New York into alleged human trafficking. No criminal charges have been filed in the investigation.
Wow. It's so much to unpack with this whole thing. I want to start by saying this to everybody, that this situation is fluid. Puff hadn't been charged with nothing yet. A lot of, once these type of cases break, there's a lot of speculation that's going to go on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of untruths that's going to go on. So I'm trying to stick strictly to
the facts.
The facts and, what I know from other cases and how I feel about the whole thing. So my first thing that I wanted to kind of get out to you, what I was trying to relay last night, is the whole thing is sad. It's not quite, one of my favorite rappers getting shot at a cookie shop, or one of them getting shot on the expressway, or these certain types of things. Some of them, just missing like raw, and then they find out it ain't that situation.
Yeah.
But it's still the fall of an icon. That's the first thing. Now I don't know Puffy well. I've never been to the damn party. I never, I've seen him one time.
Yeah.
You probably don't even remember me.
Yeah.
But I've heard things here and there about parties and stuff. I know some people that have been signed with them or that don't kicked it with them, man, with Bad Boy, or, did street promotions or whatever.
Thanks.
So the whole thing is sad because it's another black man. Now, it made me, when I heard this whole thing, it made me think about Cat Williams. And I know a lot of people are like, what the heck Cat had to do with this? Well, reason why I thought about Cat is because when he did that interview that went viral and worldwide, he kind of touched on a lot of these things called the Gatekeepers and stuff that was going on, and how, they were keeping, people out. And this was his comedy. He wasn't talking about Puff, but, and I told people, I was talking to somebody in private, and they were like, when you think Cat Man was telling the truth about all that? And I said, well, I don't personally know. I have never been to a Illuminati gathering that people be talking about, that this secret society that you go there, you get millions of dollars and cars, and you got to do a sacrifice and all that. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And I don't know nobody that has seen it. Now, I know people that subscribe to ideologies or myths or stuff like that, and they say, well, they heard. Yeah. So I don't know if all that is true, but Cat kind of was hinting towards that there's an Illuminati, a secret society, and hearing this now today with Puff, it kind of made me think of that, because I saw a lot of people saying, well, that a lot of the gatekeepers are about to tumble. That with Puff, that a lot of rappers, singers, ball players, because Puff tentacles reach long and far. Yeah. It's not just no rappers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And what people are, hitting my phone with, because we got the platform to be able to say stuff and talk to the people. What I'm getting a lot of behind that, what is Puff going, if this does translate to something, is Puff going to do the Nino Brown? I'm taking everybody with me.
Yeah.
Is this fixing to be something that's going to open up a can of worms that could make what Cat Williams did look like peanuts?
Ooh.
This is what people tell me. When you have somebody as powerful as him, and we're talking about the nature of what they're saying, what they're alleging right now, everything else comes into play. Not just the participants in that, What about all the drug dealers that were supplying all the drugs to the underage kids? What about the club owners that let them in to drink? What about the liquor? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, this thing here is the real deal.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What about all the police and security that was around Puff that turned blind eyes to that? You don't do nothing. You don't do nothing when you're on the level of a Puff Daddy without having people in very high places that have to turn their head for a lot of stuff. Puff ain't flying no plane from nowhere and bringing nobody across. No, you understand what I'm saying? You got, man, it could be aviation people behind it. It could be some of everything when you're dealing with a mogul this big, and it's a possibility. I can tell you one thing, there's a lot of people right now in all the industries that are right now shaking their boots, looking great, changing their life. You might see a lot of people in church this Sunday. You understand what I'm saying? Because like what they say, you cut off the head of the snake and everything else falls, right? So that's my first initial thoughts. I want to, hear what you have to say first, and then I'm gonna go into phase 2 of what I'm thinking.
Well, I ain't gonna hold you back too much longer because see, my thought process looking at this whole thing, like you said, is definitely a sad moment in Black history and in hip hop, man, because Diddy was one of those ones that stood for what a mogul and success in the entertainment industry is for a Black person.
Right.
Okay. If you saw somebody that was being successful, you would say it was Diddy, and a lot of folks would want to model their careers after Diddy because he did it. He made it. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And when this starts to go on, it just goes back to the same thing. It's like nobody gets to get out of this game unscathed.
And that's disappointing.
You see what I'm saying? Nobody gets out of it unscathed because it's always somebody saying, I know what you did last summer, or people coming after them. Because see, my whole thing is no criminal charges have been filed. So we don't know if he done did nothing illegal yet.
Anyway,
so even if he didn't do nothing illegal, it's still a black eye.
And what is smoke, that's fire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it's like, even if he didn't do nothing, they already checking you. They already give you that. They messing up your name. And I mean, here, you see, Russell Simmons, he done went all the way out to Bali. And it was so crazy because I think, was it us? We was talking last time, and I was like, well, no, I was talking to Choke. And I was like, I think that Diddy might wind up in Ghana. And the crazy thing is, they say that he hopped on that plane and got out of town real fast, after the raids were going on. But I don't believe that we've heard the end of everything. I think that it's going to unravel a lot of more stuff that we might not even be thinking about right now.
My thing, one thing that I do know, I ain't never been hit by the feds before. I don't have my run-in with the GBI. That's the closest thing to the FBI here. It's the government bureau. I mean, Georgia Bureau of Investigation. So I have been raided by them one time back in the day. Wasn't then this serious. But one thing that I do know is that 99.9% of the time when the feds raid you for something, they have already did their due diligence. There is something there. They don't. It's not like the state where you can call your local county and say, hey, I think it's some hoes being captured up in there. Somebody being held against and then we're gonna do a wellness check. 2-3 of us and knock on the door. If we get look in the window here or there. When they come with that level of intensity, normally they have done their due diligence on stuff. Let me tell you something, Beehive. We don't know if this is the tip of the iceberg. We don't know if stuff gonna come out when it comes to Tupacs, when it comes to other business stuff, when it comes to that with Biggies, where you got Suge Knight over there, in jail. You don't know what is saying, what's going on, or been saying here or there. You see what I'm saying? So, like you say, this could just be the tip of the iceberg. That it's gonna be some crazy. Let me say this too, real quick. If all this is true, and I said this with R. Kelly, the victims. You see what I'm saying? I mean, we got to show love to them because I see half and half. I see some people that oh man, they always doing this to a black person. You know what I'm saying? So they rhyme with Diddy. I see some people, oh man, I figured he was doing it anyway. They all gatekeepers, all of them in the gate. But I'm hearing very few people talking about the victims. About the little girls that was being, or the little boys, or whoever are being, who lives have been, you know what I'm saying, turned out behind this entire thing that trusted somebody like P. Diddy. Because this is a person that I'm sure if you're young and impressionable that you would look up to as a god.
Yeah.
Especially if you saw
that
this type of stuff. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And just everything around him. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of people can't, at that young age they can't process that. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, Puff can probably get certain people to do anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that whole thing is sad, but I'm gonna ask you a question though. Here's the thing. If this was to go a route of, let's say hypothetically, a Bill Cosby, Art Kelly type stuff, what does that do to the legacy of the artist that Puff blew up? Like, okay, one thing that I hated with the Cosby Show, with Bill, after they did Bill how they did him, it affected everybody else on the show. They were getting residual checks from that every year, living off that. Every single actor that has come, has come through there, they canceled that stuff. That's what Felicia Rashad was saying at the time. I don't know if she's still Felicia Rashad or not. But she was like, "Why y'all canceling us?"
Yeah.
Well, we have to do it because he was attached to it. Yeah. See, so now does that same thing apply if this follows that same type of pattern?
So what you're telling me is that they'll turn around and stop playing bad boy music like they did R. Kelly music, but now you're not hurting Diddy, you're hurting Biggie's family, you're hurting Faith's family, you're hurting Total's family, you're hurting 112's family, and everybody that's attached to it.
Because Puffy is the head of the food chain, so he makes money. So I have to cut off all that so you don't eat. I might not have to play. They can't just say, I'm not going to play Money Ain't a Thing with him or whatever song he did by himself, the tribute to Biggie. We have to cut off all the rest of the records too because they're your records. They're your records.
No, that's real.
Yeah. So you see what I'm saying? So how does that work? How does that play out from now? All the careers that he has touched, does that affect Mace, who left early and when he became a preacher? You know what I'm saying? To say, I'm glad I got out of the game. I saw a quote from him that said, I'm glad I got out when I got out. It was meant for me to be. I know I let a lot of people down or, you know what I'm saying, but I ain't let myself down. This was what my life was supposed to be. I got out when I was supposed to. I'm sure today he waking up probably, saying, now I see why you got me out.
Oh, come on now. You'll get extracted sometimes too.
Exactly.
Like, sometimes against your will for your best.
Against your will for your best. Now that's deep right there. So,
I think that, this Diddy thing, I'm kind of slow in going this thing because for some reason, I feel like, I'm still 50-50, even though the feds done came in there. You're going to have to take Diddy down for me to believe that you can take Diddy down. Because he's a fighter. So it's like, you know what? I hear y'all coming for him. But until I see him in that orange jumpsuit, I don't know if I'm going to be able to, side with any side on this thing because Diddy is going to fight. And Diddy got power. Diddy got money. And a good fight, I mean, if he beats it, because don't get it messed up.
You don't think R. Kelly had money and fame and everything else? You think Bill Cosby was a billionaire? Had money and fame and a long reach? He was bound a network. That don't matter.
I'm glad you said that because the feds also came after Irv Gotti. But he beat him. Now, they was coming on him on some other stuff. It wasn't this kind of stuff. But the feds still came and audited him and raided his shit too. But he beat it. So, I mean, the feds can come and, audit and raid Diddy's stuff. But if he beats it, then so what we going to say then?
Well, what I'm thinking what's going to happen is that, if they was to start messing with Diddy, this is what I think will happen. Either, like you say, Diddy going to beat it, or Diddy gonna stand out there when he do his press conference and say, I'm putting cases on all you bitches. All the other rappers. Pelican Bay motherfucker.
Come on.
Shoe detail.
It was the pretty motherfucker over there that's always, he was the real head of the CMB. He was the head of the CMB. Hell no, Wick. Hell no.
But hey, it's people there looking like, man.
Oh, it's a nigga right now saying, this nigga about to tell on me. This nigga's about to tell on me. I I know somebody saying that right now. So they already getting ready. They all doing push-ups.
Now, this is also, too, on a more serious note, it's dangerous also because we know what happens in these type of situations. You got three things. He beats it.
Yeah.
He cuts a deal.
Yeah.
Or they come at him.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just, that's why I say this is just not, it's sad. People will cut, you know.
But see,
if there is an
Illuminati. I got a question for you, though, Wick. Okay, let's just say everything that they said about Diddy is true.
Okay.
He's been getting away with this shit for over 20, 30 years.
Right.
So where were all of the whistleblowers over the last 20, 30 years? You could have nipped this in the bud back in 98.
That's what I try to tell you. That's why.
Why we in 2024 that all of a sudden somebody want to say something? Where was y'all at in 1998? If this was going down like this, why was everybody keeping quiet?
What happens is this. Let me break it down to you, and I'm glad you asked that. Let me tell you what happens. This is what happens. It happens with the drug dealers. It happens with everything else.
Yeah.
You're doing something 20, 30 years. Mm-hmm. It only takes one thing to get you hot. And it's the same in the dope game, meaning I could be selling dope for 20 years, right?
Yeah.
But the time I go to B. High's house, the kingpin, hypothetically, like all the other times I've always
sent somebody.
Sent somebody. I did this. We met behind a tree and it was there, and I left this over there.
Exactly.
And then one time, we let our guard down. It was too comfortable. I went to your crib and you were being watched. Or you came to my crib and I was being watched.
Yeah.
Now you late, and they're like, now who is that? You saw it in the movie American Gangster, the coat.
Come on.
The coat at the boxing match. When he put the coat, that blew his cover.
Yeah.
They said it couldn't be no black man that was over this whole, it couldn't be. It got to be the Italians. Got one thing.
Yeah.
One thing could be Tupac. One thing could be this right here. Ooh. One thing could be this. Now when they up in there, and you up in there, you're like, man, Pop, man, I'm telling you, man, and they were saying it was a hit. Wait, they go back and they see what you mean. You said Diddy. They said, what?
Yeah.
You get that going on.
Yeah.
Now you got investigators.
And they looking for that, and they finding that.
Yeah, and you got zealous investigators like, well, this is even bigger than Beehive. Me and you got damn good. Then we build our life. We can retire off this.
Come on.
It only take one time, me and you right here, somebody say something across, I think Diddy put the hit on it. Wait, hold on now. I was in here for pocket. I thought it was a gang thing going on. What you mean Diddy? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hold on, give us 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
So that's all it takes is one thing that could get you hot, that could lead to other shit. And we don't know what that was. We don't know if he's been hot since the Tupac thing. That this is the tail end of it. Maybe all this stuff because they work like that. Something when they come out and make a statement, say if they did arrest him, they might come out and say since 2014 we've been doing this investigation right here on the day. So you don't know yet.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
That's true.
So we don't know if this is the ending. We can't just assume this is a knee-jerk reaction by the Fed. They heard something yesterday, and today they went up in this man 3 crib. This is Puff Dad after all. So you just believe that going up in there, they don't cross the T's and dot the I's most of the time.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, bruh, is watching this whole thing unfold right here is almost like, man, it's like, looking at an accident when you're going past it. You don't want to look over there and see nobody out there, but you can't help but look.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why traffic gets slow.
Exactly.
Everybody looking anyway.
Rubbernecking.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And that's kind of where we all are right now. You know what I'm saying? We see, the blue lights and stuff, and we trying to see what's going to go on.
What the hell's going on?
What's going on with it. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I'm gonna reserve judgment to go all the way deep because one, the man hadn't been locked up yet. So I'm going to kind of want to leave it at this for right now.
Exactly.
But over the night, if there's something new that goes on, I will be in here first thing in the morning on this particular subject again as we go. Because not a lot that we can talk about right now. All we can talk about kind of is what speculation and what we're seeing. But I think we both agree right now that, if I'm hearing what you said correctly, that overall it's just sad for the whole entire culture. And that's what we're about, is the culture. Yeah. I think that's kind of what we should leave it with the people. Is it's just sad for the culture now and their thoughts on the entire thing thus far.
Y'all heard the man. Hit the comments. Let us know how y'all feel. How do you feel about Diddy's houses being raided and him being investigated right now? Do you think that these are trumped up charges? Do you think that he's innocent? Do you think that he's guilty? Do you think that there will be more people to go down with Diddy?
And the last thing, if this turns out to be another Bill Cosby or Art Kelly or something, what does this do for our culture?
Well, I mean, so you know what? We're going to have to stretch it out a little bit more because I'm going to have to ask you this question. Okay, R. Kelly, the greatest damn songwriter of our generation. Michael Jackson, the greatest performer of our generation.
Right.
Bill Cosby, the greatest father figure of our generation.
Mm-hmm.
Diddy, one of the biggest moguls of our generation.
Mm-hmm.
Suge Knight, another one of the biggest moguls of our generation.
Mm-hmm.
What does the culture have to show for itself in the long game, man? Because I don't see anybody riding off into the sunset. I'm seeing everybody catching it at the end.
Catching at the end. And that's crazy, Jizzle. That's why I said it's hard to say it right now because we don't know the extent of what's going on with Puppy. But what we do know is this. If there is something with Puff, the other moguls that he runs with, Puff could just end up, it could be done. I could be the last guy left standing right now. I could be the mogul. By next week, me and you be running some labels around here. You know what I'm saying? They trying to get me and you bad boy next week.
Yeah.
So right now, like I say, we just a step ahead.
Yeah.
Let's give them the benefit of the doubt right now. My thing is, if it is true, I just want the people to say, if it is true, what does this leave us? What does this leave our culture around?
Hit them comments, y'all. We'll be back at it real soon. Be Hot Radio shouted. Big Galaxy. We gone.
Yes, sir.